Can I ask everybody to take their seats, please? Everyone come forward and take their seats.
Kelly.
Please have a seat if you'd like one. There's plenty there. Good morning and distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. I begin acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Eastern Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander peoples here. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to such an exciting event. I often think about the fact that I've sworn in over 100 judges, about 180 registrars. You get to swear in one dog and everybody turns up. And it's so lovely to have here to be able to swear in court dog Tilly, who's just absolutely divine, and we're so thrilled to have her. I particularly acknowledge the distinguished presence of the Honourable Simon Stewart AC of the High Court of Australia, Justices of the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia's Division 1 and 2, Justices of the Federal Court of Australia, and indeed and of the Magistrates Court of Victoria. Mr. Tom Ballantyne, President of the Law Institute of Victoria, who's here supporting us and also donated $20,000 to the Court Dog program. Michael Boyce, Chair of Guide Dogs, along with Nikki Long, CEO of Guide Dogs Victoria, Miss Liz Pepper, General Manager of Dog and Vision Services, who generously supported the administration of the program nationally, but also trained both Court Dog Poppy and Court Dog Tilly. Dr. Amanda Humphries. Amanda Humphries, who's become one of the most popular judges on the court because she is Court Dog Tilly's guardian. And of course, members of the profession, members of the court, who are all here to support our program. And of course, the co-chairs and members of the Court Dog Committee. To me, I think a dog is like a home. A grin, an excited wag of the tail when you see them, a happy hug or a pat. They are a beautiful friend, a safe and calming and loving place. At least that is what it is to me. In my case, as a boarding school kid at the age of 8, I was at home when I saw my beautiful black Labrador, Jamie. He was given to me by my godmother and was the best present ever. He was my best friend and stability every time I returned from the boarding house, someone to lie with, go for walks with, laugh and cry with. He grounded me. I've never forgotten that dog, his silky ears, the way he would wag his tail or do a figure 8 between my legs. He was such a wonderful person or creature to have around as one's growing up. When I finished university, I met Wally Conran. He was running guide dogs in those days, and I heard him speak about being a puppy walker. Like me, he had a keen interest in horses, and in fact, he kept horses in the paddocks below the guide dogs in Kew. I had the honour of becoming a puppy walker, thanks to Wally's help, to a beautiful black Labrador named Paris, who became my constant companion. She was just divine. She looked remarkably just like Poppy. The fact that Poppy's got an office just near mine has got nothing to do with it. Unluckily for guide dogs, but perhaps fortunately for me, Paris's mother developed a regressive retinal problem and they couldn't use Paris for breeding, so she became my constant companion for 17 years. With that background in mind, and you may why this is all relevant, when I was sitting in my office in January a number of years ago, and Judge Mancini called me in the middle of a family holiday in Hawaii, asking me if she could represent the court at a meeting with a whole lot of prosecutors office to meet their court dog, I was torn between thinking it was a blatant attempt for a tax deduction or perhaps an international networking opportunity. Either way, I wasn't actually convinced. But not to be dissuaded, she immediately enlisted the help of Jordan DiCarlo in the campaign to establish our own court dog program. And I have to say, these two dynamic women, with their trademark tenacity, have turned what was once a rather crazy idea into a stunning success. It is such a success because of the amazing help of guide dogs, which I'll refer to later, and also the support and generosity of the profession and the whole courts. As we swear in our beautiful Tilly, our 8th court dog, I wanted to congratulate Judge Mancini and Jordan DiCarlo as co-chairs of our dog committee. They should both be extraordinarily proud of what they've achieved. They have provided a home, a safe place for so many litigants, and with our beautiful dogs at such a difficult stage in their lives. So our courts are institutions that are grounded in precedent. We're also deeply committed to humanity, compassion, and recognising the lived experience of people who come before us. As many of you know, the Court Dog program has been designed to support some of the most vulnerable members of our society, including children, victim survivors of family violence, and others who engage in the family court system, often at times of significant distress. The objectives of the Court Dog program are to help litigants and children as they define their voice and tell their stories, to make the court experience more trauma sensitive for court users, and to facilitate participation and engagement in the court process, and by doing that, furthering the proper administration of justice. Court dogs like Tilly provide a calm and reassuring presence. They help reduce anxiety, support communication, and enable people to participate more fully in proceedings. This is not simply about comfort, it's about true access to justice. It's about ensuring that those who come before the courts are able to have their voices heard in a way that is safe, supported, and trauma-informed. In a more lighthearted sense, this program is about putting the poor in support. Not my joke, but anyway, I'm trying. The impact of the Court Dog program is measurable and significant. Across 7 registries, the court dogs have directly supported more than 1,500 litigants in court proceedings, including 150 in secure safe rooms. Interaction with 930 children, engaging in over 9,200 interactions with other court users, and assisting in hundreds of court child expert interviews, playroom visits, and informal interactions. The survey data from people who have benefited from the program reinforces that impact. 100% of respondents have indicated that having a court dog in the registry is incredibly positive. 100% say they or their client felt supported by the presence of the court dog, and 98% said they would request a support dog in the future if they attended court again. And then we look closely at how people say they felt when they were supported by the court dog. 85% said they reported feeling much more relaxed. 81% said they felt much less nervous. 73% said happier. I think that's pretty good in a family court. 59% said safer, and 43% said they were able to think much more clearly. And 21% said they were better able to express themselves. These are not just small outcomes, they go directly to the person's capacity to participate meaningfully in the legal system. This individual feedback is equally powerful. One person told us that the presence of the court dog made them feel less alone. Another shared that the court dog prevented PTSD attack from escalating past the person's ability to cope. Poppy and Tilly have already received feedback as a team, and I'd like to share this from a litigant. I have had the privilege of being alongside 2 court support dogs during this incredibly difficult court experience. The first time was during a very intense full day in court. Emotions were running high, and it was a challenging day for everyone involved. Poppy managed to bring smiles to the entire courtroom during such an emotional time. She sat quietly beside me, and whenever I felt myself becoming overwhelmed or on the verge of tears, she'd gently nudge for a pat. It was such a simple gesture, but it helped ground me and redirect my emotions when I needed them most. My second experience was with a beautiful Labrador, Tilly. She was incredibly calm, mature, and reassuring throughout the morning while my two children were present. My children were experiencing extreme emotions and almost didn't come into the building. However, the moment they saw the dog, their whole demeanour seemed to change. They began to feel safe in a waiting area, relaxed enough to play and engage with their surroundings while I sat nearby receiving comfort from the dog as well. Having a support dog present made a genuine difference to our experience. Those dogs provided comfort, safety, and emotional support during what can be the most difficult moments of a person's life. Pardon me. Their presence has a greater impact than words can fully express. It's an amazing, an amazing reflection if you think about what someone's wrote in that particular passage. Those reflections speak directly to the difference this program is making at critical times in people's lives. And here in Melbourne, we've already seen that firsthand. Court Dog Poppy has been working tirelessly. In fact, most weeks she's been double booked and had been in high demand across the registry. It's fair to say that today, Tilly is not just being welcomed, it's also about ensuring that Poppy finally has a well-deserved backup. Tilly now joins the important work in Melbourne as part of the continued expansion of the Court Dog program across Australia. Today is an opportunity to acknowledge that the programs like this are not only possible, but they are vital through strong partnerships. And I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to the Guide Dogs Victoria for their expertise, dedication and generosity in supporting the Court Dog program. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge Nikki Long, Chief Executive Officer, Lise Pepper, General Manager, and Dog and Vision Services. Your commitment to training and placing highly skilled facility dogs like Tilly have made a profound difference to the courts and to the peoples we serve. I thank you for your expert staff and supporters for their dedication in this incredible work. I congratulate Guide Dogs on a magnificent project. I also wish to express my gratitude to the Law Institute of Victoria for their generous support of Tilly. In particular, I acknowledge Tom Ballantyne, President of the Law Institute of Victoria, and Adam Artwi, Chief Executive Officer. Your support demonstrates the profession's strong commitment to improving the experience of court users and supporting innovation in administration of justice. The expansion of this program in Melbourne is a clear reflection of what can be achieved when a court, a profession, and the broader community work together toward a goal. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge all of those who have contributed to the success of the program, including handlers Kate and Hilary, our court staff, our judicial officers who have embraced this initiative and recognised its value. I also thank Judge Amanda Humphries and her family for taking such good care of Tilly at home. We now have a short video to explain a bit more about the Court Dog program and to welcome Court Dog Tilly.
Amazing things about a court dog is their ability to read a room. And one thing we have found time and time again is that the court dogs know how to identify the most vulnerable person in the room. That won't necessarily be the witness who's requested the court dog's support. It might be a barrister, or in one particularly touching moment, it was an associate on their first day at work. I think the reason for that is that Poppy provides them with a sense of comfort and really relaxes them, gives them the confidence to participate in the proceedings. Our vision is for a time when a court dog, as part of the court process, is normal, not novel. And we hope to see court dogs in registries of all jurisdictions right across Australia.
When you see a dog in court, you can be assured that this dog has had expert training and has a deep understanding of the relationship with humans and are incredibly intuitive.
From a judge's perspective, you would hardly notice the presence of a court dog in the witness box supporting a witness. But from the witness's perspective, what they regularly tell us is that the mere holding of a leash provides a strong sense of calm and helps them get through it. The program wouldn't be where it is today if it weren't for the profession who got behind Court Dog Poppy in the first instance and really called for the expansion and really demanded the expansion and are now doing what they can to support it. We're also so grateful for guide dogs. Without them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today, and the program wouldn't be able to extend to so many different registries and reach all of those families.
We'd like to see the National Court Dog Program be expanded to as many places as possible.
I just want to leave you with one final story, just very quickly. We had a child that had been the subject of allegations of being sexually molested in the case, and the child was unable to actually tell anybody about this. Pardon me. And the court child expert was having trouble actually getting this child to be interviewed. They brought in court dog Poppy. The child lifted up the dog's ear and told Poppy the whole story. If it hadn't been for that, those allegations would never actually have been heard properly. And that child will probably not remember coming to court. They'll just remember that beautiful dog. Can I now ask Tom Ballantyne to come and speak on behalf of Law and Shooter Victoria?
Good morning, everyone. Chief Justice Ostergren, Justice Stewart, other judges and distinguished guests, to the staff of the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia, representatives of Guide Dogs Australia, Victoria, and friends and supporters of the Court Dog Program. Thank you for having me today. I would like to adopt the respectful acknowledgement and welcome to the land on which we all gathered. Already stealing the show, of course. And of course, I'd like to welcome Tilly, and I would like to offer her additional greeting. Who's a good girl then? It's my great privilege to be here today representing the more than 21,000 members of the newly renamed Law Institute of Victoria. In my time as president, I have delivered welcomes for innumerate judges of great intellectual distinction and experience, but I have to say it gives me somewhat more delight to today welcome a lab. I suspect that some of the more traditionally minded members of the legal profession have raised an eyebrow at the Court Dog Program. To those people, I would say, firstly, what is wrong with you? There is no situation that is not improved by the presence of the dog. But more importantly, while courts are solemn institutions, they are also places where vulnerable people who have experienced trauma, people who are frightened, people, often children, who are being asked to do the hardest thing they have ever done, must somehow find capacity to participate fully in a process that is adversarial and for them deeply personal. Coming to court is stressful for everyone, and for the people this court sees most often, it is often terrifying. And I think the feedback from those litigants and the practitioners who have worked with the court dogs is very instructive. Chief Justice went through the data, which is overwhelming, but I just want to touch on the 100% approval rating. The fact that not a single person in the full range of difficult circumstances this court encounters found anything other than comfort and security in the presence of these dogs is all the evidence we need for the program's value. That's Tilly's work. It's serious work, and she offers everything while asking for nothing. I'm told that she's already proven so popular with the children and witnesses that have come through this court that they have returned with gifts for her. I cannot pretend that I have ever in my career inspired that response. Now, none of this happens without the people behind it, and I first want to congratulate the court for this worthy program. While it must be difficult for the judges to accept leading in the courtroom, this is exactly the type of practical, trauma-informed, client-centric program that the justice system needs to adopt. We face a time of declining trust in public institutions, and this kind of innovation is exactly the type of thing that will help us stay relevant. I also want to congratulate Guide Dogs Victoria for the training that Tilly has received. I had no idea how comprehensive and detailed and thorough it was until we became involved with the program. And particularly Hilary, Tilly's handler, the special human who makes all of this work day in and day out. I should acknowledge at this point, in the interest of full disclosure, that I am not entirely without personal conflict in this. My own Cocker Spaniel, Ralph, was given brief consideration as a candidate to accompany me today. I decided against it. Ralph's behaviour, while enthusiastic, has not yet reached the standard required. Ralph sits, but not reliably. He stays, but only if there's nothing more interesting happening. And he has a particular talent for stealing food from other people's children. Ralph once consumed my brother-in-law's birthday cake, a chocolate fudge left unattended in the house in its entirety. Now, while this was a feat of some ambition, it's not, as I understand it, a quality the court dog program is currently looking for. His other distinguishing characteristics include a settled conviction that the couch accommodates exactly one person, Ralph. He is, in short, a dog of strong opinions and flexible ethics, and he would not last 5 minutes in a legal proceeding. By contrast, at just 2.5 years of age, Tilly has demonstrated a level of professional composure that puts many of us to shame. She's had an impact that only some of us could dream of. She has many years of service ahead of her, supporting those in need and hopefully making the legal system a little bit less terrifying. I want to return at this point to the central finding of my remarks. Having reviewed the evidence, the data the Chief Justice covered, the 100% approval rating, the gifts from children, her composure under pressure, the years of rigorous training, I am in the position to offer a conclusion that Tilly is indeed a very good dog. The Institute is proud to be a sponsor of this program and prouder still that her coat bears our LRV logo. It is probably the most stylish use of our branding I have seen in some time. So on behalf of the solicitors of the state and on behalf of Ralph, I wish you, Tilly, a long and rewarding and treat-filled career. And I'll leave the last word to the 90s Melbourne band The Fauves, who famously opined that dogs are the best people. Tilly, Poppy, and all of your colleagues, you are sterling examples of that assessment. Thank you.
I will now ask Pepper to come up and speak on behalf of Guide Dogs.
Thank you and good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here today representing both Guide Dogs Victoria and the Guide Dogs Australian National Representative for the National Court Dog Program, as we welcome Tilly into her new role as Court Dog for the Melbourne Registry for the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia. Today is particularly a special occasion. Almost 3 years ago, the OG, Poppy, was sworn into Melbourne's registry as our first court dog. Shortly afterwards, Zoe joined her in the Hobart Registry in what was then a small but ambitious initiative. Their success has been the blueprint for a nationally recognised program supporting vulnerable court users across Australia. Today, Tilly becomes the 8th court dog to be sworn in and the 6th appointed in the last 12 months. Most importantly, Tilly is the 2nd court dog, as we've heard, for the Melbourne Registry. This is because of the positive impact, sorry, it's going to happen all the way through, impact that Poppy and her handler Kate have had, increasing awareness and demand for their services to the point where Poppy can no longer do it alone. She now needs a 2nd pair of paws. That is a remarkable milestone and a proud moment for Guide Dogs Victoria. For nearly 70 years, we've led the way in breeding and training dogs to support people with low vision and blindness. And today we're applying that same world-class expertise to a growing range of assistance and facility dogs, helping people in environments in diverse as courts, schools, and now veteran support programs. Court dogs are carefully selected for this unique work. We look for dogs with exceptional temperaments, as we've heard, who will thrive in a busy court environment and who will possess that special ability to instinctively know who needs support and how best to provide it. They offer more than just comfort. They provide calm in stressful situations, reassurance during difficult conversations, and a steady presence when people are feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or afraid. We know the difference they make because we hear it directly from the court users. One recent litigant in Sydney shared this comment: "What a brilliant program to allow a court dog to be available to me. Lani and her handler were both exceptional in their approach to my situation and for making me feel so much less nervous and calmer in an extremely stressful few days in court. I'm forever grateful." And another in Melbourne shared, "Poppy took my mind off everything. She made the whole court process feel human and not so cold. She took away a lot of stress that I would have felt if she wasn't there." These are powerful outcomes, not only for the individuals involved, but for the integrity, accessibility, and humanity of the legal process itself. That is why Guide Dogs is so honoured to be working in partnership with the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia on this national initiative. We sincerely thank Chief Justice Olstgren and Judge Mancini for their vision and leadership in establishing and championing this National Court Dog program. And we also acknowledge Jordan DiCarlo and the wider registry team for building such a strong and effective framework for which these dogs can provide this support. The success of the program has not only been possible through the generous support of the legal community, and we extend our sincere thanks to Tom Ballantyne, President, and Adam Orty, CEO of the Law Institute of Victoria, for their ongoing support of our program here in Victoria. Together, we are creating a more trauma-informed, people-focused justice system, one that places dignity, care, and humanity at its centre. To Tilly's new support team, we thank you, Judge Humphreys, and your family for taking on the important role of Tilly's guardian, and we welcome back Hilary as Tilly's handler. As one of the original handlers in the program, few people understand the importance of the role better than you do, and we're delighted to see you return as Tilly begins this next chapter. And to the Guide Dogs Victoria team, Michael Boyce, our chairman, Nikki Long, our CEO, and also today I would like to thank 2 volunteers that have provided their time for the court dogs being sold at the back of the room, just a little plug, to Wendy and Chris here today as well. And then to our wider dog services team, we have the puppy raiser Akiko here today. So thank you to Akiko for looking after Tilly for 12 months. Aaron Horsington, our Manager of Dog and Client Services, and along with Tilly's trainers, Laura Davidson and Eugenia Cheng, who did a remarkable job with Tilly. I thank you for your expertise, dedication and commitment in preparing our dogs for these important roles. And yes, thank you. To Tilly. Today marks the beginning of an important new chapter, not only for you, but for the continued growth of this remarkable program. You have some very big paw prints to follow, but we know you will make your own unique contribution to the lives of many people that you will support in the years ahead. We are incredibly proud of everything you've already achieved, and we're really excited to see the difference that you make here at the Melbourne Registry. So congratulations, Tilly, and welcome to the team. Thank you.
As Liz has said, please don't leave without buying a special court dog toy up the back. Can I also acknowledge Jason Walker, the chair of the FLS. Jason is very kindly supporting our court dog program again with help at the national convention we're having in Hobart in October. So thank you, Jason. Can I now ask Michael Boyce and Nikki Long to come up and stand with me as we swear in our new court officer. I now invite court dog Tilly to come forward. Now, court officer, please read out the commission.
Commission of Appointment and Oath of Office, pursuant to Section 56 of the Canine Therapy Act 2023, and on the basis of her bona fide skills and aptitude as a very good girl, acquired through training at Guide Dogs Victoria, and having been positively endorsed by the Law Institute of Victoria, I hereby appoint Tilly to the position of Court Facility Dog to the Melbourne Registry, commencing on the 18th of June 2026, until her furriness reaches an appropriate retirement age. And on behalf of Tilly, I do swear that I will well and truly serve in the office of Court Facility Dog, and that I will comfort and support all people without fear or favour, but with lots of affection and goodwill.
Tilly, I now ask you to describe the oath of office. Here we go. Congratulations, Tilly, and welcome. Please join us for refreshments. Thank you very much.